reviewing a pen, I decided to do something different. I want to talk about ink samples. Now, yes, this is a pen I could review, and maybe at some point I will. This is a Rohrer & Klingner glass pen. So what makes it kind of different is right here. Instead of a regular steel or gold nib, there's glass, and it's cut with kind of a spiral shape. And ink will cling to it. And that's what I use to take my samples. Now let me set that aside temporarily. I can't really move my microphone, so we'll set it back here. I'm not a huge fan of glass nibs, by the way. I can talk about that too. So when I first started doing ink sampling, I used this. This is a black and red notebook. And whoops. It was kind of fun because, you know, I had my table of contents in the front. Well, that quickly filled up. So, let me pick this up here. So then I moved it to the back. That filled up. So then I started filling back a page. And see what I would do. Oh yeah, and I filled up that page. This is my very first ink sample I ever took, December 1st, 2012. I would just write with whatever pen I had it inked in, Quick Brown Fox. I'd write a little bit of thoughts on it. But what I quickly discovered, for something like this, it has to be quick and easy to do, or I'm just not going to do it. Now, I happen to be part of Goulet Pens Ink Drop, which is a service they no longer offer, but every month they would send you 5 samples of ink that they chose based off of a theme. And yeah, you could try them out. So, you know, I tried that one out in Parker Frontier, a pen I no longer owned, and I put into a Noodler's Nib Creeper. And that began to end quickly. And this was kind of as my handwriting was starting to evolve. You start going on a few pages. I started using this glass pen. Still was doing the Quick Brown Fox. Getting slower, a little less thought. I started doing this thing. I think it was to show like a flex nib. I'm not sure what I was actually doing. Oh, that's actually not a bad blue. I got adventurous with this Manjiro Nakahama. I wanted to put bleach on it just to see what it did, and then I accidentally got it over these samples, which was interesting. And then I started, you know, since I'm using this glass pen for the most part. Oh, there's one I didn't. Using this glass pen, I started doing a swatch. You can see my handwriting is improving here. This was a nice ink, and I'm really sorry I gave it away. I wish I would have kept that bottle. But then I would put it into a flex pen and I'd do the swatch. So I tried a whole bunch of things. My comments got to be, it's brown, meh. Boring and red. And anyway, I kept going. Oh, here's the temporarily new Black Swan and Australian Rose. And it evolved. But anyway, so November 29th, 2014, I finally got bored with it. I just didn't like this. I wanted something more consistent, because what I couldn't do with this, I couldn't say, oh, how does this ink compare with this one and this one? I couldn't move them around. So that's where that notebook stops. What I switched to, or what is something that's no longer available. This is a Maruman word card. Now, these were kind of nice. I actually bought them originally. I was starting to work on Chinese, and I thought these would be a good way to memorize it well. I just heard something blow down outside. Anyway, I thought, but honestly, flashcard or a piece of paper works just as well, so I ended up not using these for that, which is just as well. So I had one of these. I don't remember which one now, but I thought, why not use it for ink samples? Because this is actually really nice paper. It's almost like watercolor paper. It has a textured side and a not textured side. All bound in this guy So I could conceivably, see, it's a ring. I could conceivably take the ink out. Hey, sorry to do this to you. Was editing the video together and I realized that product has been discontinued. So I have not tried them myself, but I would suggest the coloring notebooks or ink card thingies. You can get them at Anderson Pens and probably some other retailers as well, but I know Anderson Pens for sure. So have not tried them myself, so I can't vouch for their quality, but I just felt I should throw that in there since I didn't record it in the original video and my set's torn down, so I'm not going to set it all up for 31 seconds of talking. Back to the video. So, let me find my black inks, because I'm planning a review soon where I talk about black ink. So I labeled a card, I sacrificed a card to label the color, and then black. So I chose to do them alphabetically. I'll just show you a few here. And let's see here. Oh, here's one of my early ones, right after I made the switch. I was still trying to make comments. But this is what I've come down to. I give the name of the ink, the date, I don't know why other than to see it writing, and I tell what pen I did it with, and then I do a swatch with that pen. And then it's kind of nice because I can take these out and compare. Some of the swatches, because I'm using a glass pen, they'll kind of rub and tear up the paper. One or two early ones were done with a pen. Oh, never mind. Sorry, I thought that was a different ink. But anyway, so kind of fun. I've got the blues here. I didn't really separate out my turquoises and, I don't know if that's a blue or not. I didn't really separate out the turquoises and the blue blacks or anything, but I'm probably getting to the point that I should. So I have that one. This one starts with, for some reason I did do burgundies. Love that ink. Not, again, 100% sure why. Oh, I just thought of one. I'm wondering, yeah, nope, never mind. There is one, nope, not in here. Okay, golden browns, greens, lots of greens, light green, gray, oranges, pinks. That's one of those where like, ooh, is it pink or is it purple? I'm not like real militant about classifying colors. I'm not an artist. There's the true purples. Totally different character of purple, of course. What is this? Reds. And yellows. Alright, so I'll just show you kind of how it works. And maybe this will give you an idea how this glass pen works. Also, like I said, it's not really a review of the glass pen. One thing I like to have if I'm going to do several samples is water. Otherwise, I'll just take it to the kitchen if I'm only doing one sample. So I'll set the water aside. If I'm doing several samples, I like to have a paper towel, which I have. The ink I will be doing is Sailor Gentle Sky High. No, this is not a sample. This is a full thing. So, what you do is you just dip the ink in, and you see it just kind of clings to the grooves. In fact, see, you can tell it just sits in the grooves. So we'll go up a teeny weeny bit. This will be awkward underneath this, but whatever. Will you focus? Yeah, there we go. So this, oops, I started to print there for some reason. Sailor Gentle Sky High. Now the trouble with this ink actually has a bit of a sheen to it, but this paper is so absorbent it won't show it. This is an R&K Rohrer & Klingner glass pen. You can also get these from Jarbonne, something like that. And what is today? June 7th? That sounds right. 2017. And then to get my swatch, I redip it and put this on its side. And some people will do this with a Q-tip. Like I said, I want it simple. So this is what I go with. And I make a swatch. So let me recap that ink and tell you what's up here. And just so you know, see, I just set it in there. If it rinses, when I rinse it off, I swoosh it around, use the paper towel and wipe. And yeah, so my idea on ink sampling, it's not scientific, I just want a rough idea of the color. I know some people do a full page on the ink, they do the feathering, they may even try it on several types of paper. They'll do a 5-second dry test, 15-second, all that. Too much like work. I just want a rough idea of the color, and that's good enough for me. It gives me an idea if I get the urge down the road to buy a bottle of, not this because I have a full bottle, but something where I bought a sample. Oh, do I want to or not? Usually if I buy a sample, I've tried it out in the pen, so I have an idea. But then, go down the road 2-3 years, and I like the looks of that Dea Trementis ochre. And then I look back at my sample and I say, oh, yeah, I didn't care for that one. So that's the idea. And I like getting samples because part of the fun of ink, let me just put this vertically for you. When you get into fountain pens, you open up this world of inks, papers, and so on. So each one of these cards has a different color on it. Different types of black, different types of blue, different burgundies, different purples. And it's fun. It's not practical in any way. It's just fun. Do I have every single color in there? Oh, of course not. And that's part of the fun, too. You buy a sample and you're just like, ugh. I bought this one, sight unseen, mostly because I went a little gentle crazy when the Epinard came back, and I was just like, ooh. So I bought every one of them, 6 bottles of ink. But for the most part, I just want to try them. Now, clearly, I do have an ink problem. Some more in there, and you can't see it, but I have some more in a drawer over there. I have too many inks. But, yeah, I just wanted to give you an idea about ink sampling, how I do it. My thing is keep it simple. Other people like it very detailed. They scan it, put it on the computer in a database or something so it's searchable. Not me. I like it simple. And you've seen how I keep track of my pens in use. I just keep it simple. And I get more pleasure out of the words I write. And it's fun, just to see the words appear on paper in different colors. And that sounds kind of crazy, but that's me. So anyway, that's how I do ink samples. I hope that was interesting, and hope it was a nice little departure from the normal, hey, why don't you buy this pen? Although I did show you a pen that I use. Again, this is a Rohrer & Klingner glass pen that I bought from Goulet Pens. You will, if you get into vintage at all, you will see some glass-nibbed fountain pens. Anyway, if you get into vintage at all, you will see some glass-nibbed fountain pens. I don't know if it was because of the metal shortage. A lot of them appeared in the 40s or what it is, but I'm not so much a fan of glass. I mean, it's a very rigid line. With this, of course, it's a dip pen, so I have to keep re-dipping as I write. It's a neat way to, with a dip pen, to quickly switch colors. But on the whole, I'm just not impressed with the glass. I don't like the feel of it on the paper. And it's not a shot at Rohrer and Klingler. I mean, this is a perfectly good pen. It's very attractive. I would just rather use a metal nib, steel or gold. And I'm told titanium makes a good one too. So, yeah, hope that was interesting. Hope it was useful. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.